Absolutely not. Don't ever call me transphobic. Ever. You do not know me.
You're being transphobic, Karen. Now get out.
Call me transphobic.
You are transphobic. Now get out.
I want a refund.
You're not having one. Go to the police. Hi, get out.
Absolutely.
You are trespassing now.
They've got cameras.
You are trespassing. Get out. Get out. You are trespassing.
Apparently, we said something transphobic.
You actually.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Man Cave. We are Ryan and Corey. You listen to the Much About Nothing podcast, the show where we give expert takes and good-hearted debates. We talk ball and anything and everything else. Today, we will be discussing the misgendering situation at Starbucks. It's going to be a trans rights conversation. Overall, the goal of this podcast is to promote healthy and respectful dialogue. So please follow along. If you have something to say, put it in the comments. If you are new to the pod, greetings. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, smash that bell. If you're already part of the fam, welcome back. Please like, share, and comment. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let's get into it.
Who starts this thing off by saying, forgive me, y'all, it was supposed to be another comma behind in trans right a conversation. It's supposed to be a comma behind it. It's not. Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in today. We're going to talk about this thing. As y'all saw in the video, that was the whole overall thing. That lady, I don't want to misgender, but that trans person was fired from Starbucks. So we're going to discuss that thing, see what we think, what we thought, how we think we should have played out, what it was, and all the ins and outs of that. So starting this thing out with understanding misgendering. What is misgendering? Do you know, you got it up there? Or you don't have it?
Nah, man, go ahead and tell me what you think. What is misgendering?
All right, misgendering. All right. Refers to someone, especially a transgender person, using a word, especially a pronoun or form or address that does not reflect their gender identity. So I guess the overall question that you have to start at is, do we have a problem with misgendering? What do you think?
Well, I think I'm gonna tell you, I personally would not like it if a person was calling me a her. Like, I would be bothered by it. So I would imagine any other person that they would be bothered by it also. I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, if you just add the human element of who you are as a person, if somebody's calling you out of that, I mean, it could be bothersome. But go ahead, go with what you're saying. I'm gonna say my next point.
I ain't never been misgendered, so I mean, I don't know. I ain't never had nobody. I mean, somebody called me a woman, I probably just keep moving. I think they're trying to be crazy, trying to be funny or something like that. Probably. I don't know. But when I say is there a problem, because like I say, I think a lot of our policies are wrapped around and following Canadian policies. And Canada made misgendering and following a human rights part of a person's human right. So in Bill C-16 in there, you're not allowed to misgender a person. You can really lose your job, be prosecuted, and all types of things over misgendering a person. So it's getting more to that way. So if I believe I'm actually Goku, would it be reasonable for me to get upset for people to refer to me by my real name? Yeah. yeah. So that's the same question. If I think I'm an elephant and nobody else thinks I'm an elephant, should they be messed up for not calling me an elephant? Or I think I'm tall. I identify as a 4-foot individual, and I want to be called a short guy. People say but you're 6 foot. No, man, I'm short, or something like that. Depending on what you see yourself as. But can I identify as something that I don't know whether you want to say is biological or what I look like to society. Should I be called what society sees me as, or should I be called what I see myself as? I don't know. I think I don't really run into this problem, like really, because it's very, very rare. I don't know. Maybe one of these days I might run into that situation, but I don't really have these problems. I usually say yo. So you see me, hey yo. It's not going to start off with no. Um,
I'm gonna tell you. I guess in my mind, when I think about it, right, I think that because this is a fairly new, this
mm,
is a fairly new. Um, I don't know because I think that if you're confident, then you're probably not being bothered. But being that right now, no, I'm serious, man. I think I like because
no,
a
I'm
part of me
laughing at the
sympathizes.
comment.
A part of me sympathizes to the point where, okay, it's one thing if initially the lady misgendered her or him, because I couldn't tell from the time, but it appears that at some point there was a correction made by the trans individual to say this is what I want you to address me as, and then instead of doing that, like they exasperated a situation by not honoring that reasonable request. I think it's a reasonable request. Like this at that point, it's not about whether you how you feel about trans rights or anything like that. It's not even about that. At this point, a person says, "I'm offended by what you're calling me. Call me something different." You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, "Nah, I ain't finna call you nothing different. I'm gonna call you what I want to call you." Now you've exasperated the situation into some type of conflict that didn't have to happen. Now you got this person that has to lose their job because they're making a stance over what they felt was right, and really it didn't have to be all of that. It ain't had
Yeah,
to
but
be
yeah, I
all of that.
mean, my thing to that would be is how you're telling me how important my words are to me. I mean, I believe my words I hold to extremely high value of what I want to hold them to. But if I see a person, let's say what the problem is, if that person calls that transgender woman a guy and they see them as a guy and they were born a male of gender and they see them as that and they say, hey, bro, or something like that. And no, I'm not that. I want to be called. Then you're asking me to come into your realm and break down because you're asking me to do something, call you something that I don't a word like would you call if I told you right now I wanted to be referred to as master. I identify as your master. Call me master. You see what the problem? Because you don't you in your side right now. You don't want to say that. You don't want to go throughout this podcast. If you agree with that, then call me master. That's what it makes me happy. Call me master. I identify as your master. So call me that. You comfortable with that?
No, I'm not. But I can go on the other side. I can go on the other side
That's
of
the
it, right?
same argument though.
I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna go on the other. I'm gonna go on the other side of that, right? Here goes the other side. The other side is if someone was to call me boy
Hmm.
and they said, "Hey boy, go do this," I would say, refer to me as something other than boy. You can call me Ryan. You can call me Mister. Just don't call me boy.
Yeah.
And they say, "All right, boy." Now we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now we got a problem because I'm sitting there, and yeah, maybe I once was a boy at one point,
I
but
don't
I
think
am
that
not. I
problem
am
is,
not. A,
but yeah.
I'm not a boy now. Like, look, don't call me boy.
Hmm.
Like, so, I think that's more akin than the whole master thing. Like,
I think the problem is it calling you something that you because it might be what you view yourself as. The problem is you what you view yourself as or what society view you as. Would society view you as a boy?
I mean, you know that boy is extremely disrespectful. It's a disrespectful term.
What if you was a boy? To a boy, it's not disrespectful.
Car, I'm talking about like you going to hypothetical. I'm going to. This is
Oh,
a
okay.
real life issue. Like
Yeah.
today, if I went to a restaurant and they
I ain't
address
never
me as
heard
boy.
nobody say. I ain't never heard nobody address nobody as no boy in no restaurant. You been called a boy at a restaurant.
Not at a restaurant, but I've been called boy before.
Who?
I was at matter of fact, it was a restaurant.
For
I
real?
was at a
By a person?
by a
An employee?
person. Yeah, like I was at a restaurant. I mean, I was at a bar. I was at a
I never
bar,
been called boy by it.
and I was in when I was stationed in North Carolina. I was in my 20s. I was at a bar. Somebody called me boy.
Mm,
I mean, he had a few too many to drink, and I
yeah.
understand what he was. I
Oh, it was
understood.
a patron. It was another person that was
Yeah,
okay. Okay. I'm like, dang, a person at a. That's what was getting me. Person
yeah,
at the establishment. I thought it was a worker.
yeah. It was in Carolina, and it was bothersome, and to the point where I felt like getting physical about it. But that's another
Oh,
conversation for another time. But again, like I understand. At one point, I was a boy, but that's not what I am now. Don't call me
yeah.
boy.
Mhm. I would agree with that side because I mean it's kind of easy for me to agree with that because I don't view you as a boy, and I'm pretty sure society doesn't view you as a boy. But the problem comes in what society does view you as, and what you I don't know. I don't want to go on a debate about truth, but overall, what we see as truth is what I'm saying, Christian man. I believe in what I'm saying as it come to be. I believe there only are two genders. So we get into the realm of what I would typically call you. I believe at Starbucks they have a name. So if I see anything that looks confusing of any nature or look like something that is confused in the nature, I would refer to the name tag, whatever it say up there, because I don't care. You want me to call you Cheryl, whatever the name is, I will call you what the name tag says. At the end of the day, it doesn't it doesn't bother me. I never ran into this problem. Never ran into this problem at all. I don't think I really would. I
Yeah,
had too much of a
that's what
problem.
I'm saying. Like the lady, like I understand. Like I guess the sensationalism right now is like, yeah, the trans person was probably doing a whole lot because there was a lot of emotion in it. There's a lot of emotion, like, but again, I mean, that lady really exasperated that situation. Like, it didn't even have to be like that. It didn't have to be like that. This didn't have to make. This didn't have to make the blotter. This didn't
I
have
don't
to
know.
make
I
the.
don't, I don't think we've seen the before joint, and that's my problem with like small clips. That small clip is you don't see the before or anything. Of I definitely don't think the person was. They both look like extremely irrational human beings because I have never in my life, I or no, never can I see myself arguing with a person at Starbucks. It's usually let me get my coffee and go. It ain't too much of a conversation going on. Like how much talking we doing at this with coffee. It doesn't take that much. Let me get vanilla bean cream
Yeah,
venti.
but here goes the question,
Thank
right? I'm
you.
gonna ask a real question here, Corey.
Mm.
How much would it have cost that lady to, even if she didn't respect the whole gender thing, even if she just respected another human being that was requesting that you stop doing so, right?
Well,
Like
it's just
so when it comes to me,
I
this
look at it.
situation is
Me
different than.
myself. I look at it both sides because it's equally just as easy as the person just give them the coffee. Saying that is just as equal as the person just to say what they don't want to say. It's just as equal for you to do what you don't want to do. It's on both sides. Like if I come up there and I say this, you could just give me my coffee and go on about your day. But you're choosing a side. At the end of the day, both of them could have walked away. They both had the equal amount of time to do something other than what they did, but they chose to do what they did. So I'm not saying the woman is right because of course, I just said I would just call them whatever what was on their name tag.
I listened to Charleston White say something a while back, and he
Mm-hmm.
said if I get in a fight, somebody knock me out, and I get up and somebody holding the camera in my face, he said he going after the person with the camera because they try to cause me irrefutable damage. Like in this situation, like that person holding the camera, like I'm sitting there and I'm sympathizing for the whole situation because right, obviously, this person is at their worst because they feel like they're being disrespected on a level, feel like they're being made fun of, and there's a person holding the camera that wants to show the world its whole situation. Like I mean, like and again, I don't know what it's like to be trans, but I would imagine that there's a level of scrutiny associated with it,
Yeah, I
and
think
you
so.
just try and you just want to live your life. And see, like I said, like so for me, when it comes down to it, I really don't care how any individual lives their life. That's my personal opinion.
Mm.
Like it does not have any bearing on my individual life. Live your life however you want to. You get one life. This is how you want to go about it. Go about it however you want to go about it. I don't care. Like I guess I'm not pro, not against. I'm not. I just don't care. But I am pro respect for human beings. I think all human beings deserve a certain level of respect. And so if someone tells you they don't like something, what don't because really what you're doing is you're trying to be a bully. When somebody tell you something you don't like just leave them alone. Like that's it. Like it didn't have to be all that, and that person has to lose their job, and they're gonna have to deal with the fact that this will live in infamy on the internet until it's not until nobody's checking for it. It's ridiculous.
No,
It's
I
ridiculous.
mean, I'm on. I don't view it that way. I view it as you have two sides that believe something different and saying just live your life. Who? Because you got two people on different sides that disagree. Saying just live, it's a point that you meet an impasse when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. There's an impasse. At the end of the day, we disagree so much. Eventually, something has to go, and it's who you choose sides with. At the end of the day, because Starbucks made a decision in this lady being fired, so it's not as just live your life. If I do not want to do this, and you're saying you need to do this, either one thing needs to change, and who you agree with is who you agree with, and you choosing sides regardless. Whether you're gonna choose sides with that woman being forced to say what she doesn't want to say, or that individual telling that person the rights to tell that person not to call me that. At the end of the day, you have to make a stance there. So you're either gonna stand on one side or the other. I don't think it's as easy as just live your life. Cause I could easily say something that you don't agree with. All right, you got a problem with gun violence. Just live your life. Accept that guns are what they are, and a person want that gun. Accept that. But now you want that to change because you disagree with the way things have been handled. Just saying that a person should just live their life, or go back to that same joint as we were talking yesterday about somebody circumcising young girls. They believe in circumcising their children, cutting out their genitals. You don't agree with that. You're not going to say just live your life. You're saying that is a problem. So at the end of the day, I don't think just you live your life is a proper response to anything. We have to weigh these things and truthfully find and pick a side and know where we're at on these situations.
Okay, so two things what you said there. First thing, I think the reason why that person was fired was because how they handled that entire situation. From the knocking the phone out of the person's hands to the grandstanding about you gotta leave, you're trespassing, this, that, and the third. I think it was more about how they carried out the action. Which they were behaving emotionally, you behave emotionally, a lot of times you're gonna behave poorly. I
Hmm.
think that's why the person was fired. I don't know the Starbucks statement, but if I had to be the person at Starbucks, it's probably why I would fire them.
Uh, yeah, I
Now,
got it.
as for, and the second thing I'm gonna say, I ain't about to call compare trans rights to gun rights because one is dangerous
No,
to
I'm on to compare it to belief. We don't have to go down this road. I'm not. I'm compared to any belief. I could have picked anything. I could have put anything in the world that you disagree with, and I'm saying, as a person, you're not going to just say move on. Let's say a person being called the N word, anything. It does not matter. Anything of a contention, you could say just live your life. But at the end of the day, you're going to have a situation where two sides meet, and it's not just live your life. The abortion argument, anything. It does not matter. Any argument that ever existed since time, you can't just say just live your life. Because at the end of the day, it's two people that's like your daughter arguing with your son. and they have two sides, and you tell both of them just live your life. We're saying we can't just live our life. One side is I can't live my life like this person wants, and this person say I can't live my life like this person wants. You have to make a decision what's going to
Is
happen here.
that really what's going on though?
You might not view it that way, but it is.
All right, cause I guess and help me to understand because I might be way off in this.
Again, this is
No
the
matter, no matter,
no.
no matter what you no, if you decide if you and I'm not gonna use. Let's say your next door neighbor decides they want to dress. He wants to wear a dress on Sunday and he wants to wear a suit on Monday. Why do you care?
I don't think a person care about the way a person dress or what they does. It's when
I don't care then.
I'm pretty sure this is the argument most people would make. They would say, "Okay, I'm okay with you having your delusion, but why does your delusion have to interrupt my reality? That would be theirs. Like at the end of the day, I do not care what you do, what you think of yourself as is all of that. But when you start to impress that upon me to enter this realm and to call you, which I definitely do not see as a
Yeah.
reality or truth by that standard. So why should I do that?
No.
And but I would agree. I think it's just simple to just call somebody what they want to be called. I would agree with it. But
Yeah.
I'm
But
saying on the other side, those purpose they might not feel how we feel. They might
okay.
hold
So
that to a yeah.
all right. So I guess I guess in my mind here because and maybe I misinterpreted it wrong, but it wasn't so much about whether you call them sir or ma'am. It was more about don't call me this because if the conversation had went straight up where they had called them by their name on the name tag like you said earlier, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Mm.
So you don't even if it bothers your constitution to call someone that you you I that you gender them as a man, but they're saying that they're a woman. Like, then just call them by their name. Like if that bothers your constitution that much, but in the grand scheme of things, it does not matter. That's they got to live that life like that. Like it's just one
That's
of
what
those
I'm
things
saying.
where it
I agree.
don't matter. Don't
And
matter.
Crystal, I wanted to make the mistake of just because I make an argument don't mean that I hold an argument. I'm just making an argument for the side because they're not here. So I have to state it as though they are here. But even though I don't hold it, obviously I would just call the person whatever I said that whatever the name is on the name tag, I will call them that. But back to what you were saying, Ham, I think the problem with that would be this is we have common things that we say. Like I call everybody bro. It don't matter, girl, boy, or nothing. I be like, yo, bro. I say bro. It's just a common word that comes out. Hey, man, man is a or guys. Let's say the word guys. All right, guys. When you come into a room, all right, guys, let's get together, guys. All right. It can be some women in there, right?
Okay.
But at the end of the day, by me saying guys, you can get offended because you might think, and I think that person could be using common language, just be saying man, yo, man, chill out. And I'm not a man. Oh, my bad. And it's just a common mistake. But at the end of the
But
day,
you see how you
what I'm saying,
pivoted though.
words.
But
Yeah,
you pivoted because that person deserves the respect of if they address it and tell you it bothers them, then you
yeah,
just stop. You pivot.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody saying that you got to be perfect about it. Like it's okay.
That's what I
Like
see.
I'm
But I seen. I guess I seen it differently. I seen another person go up here when the other person could have just been making a statement, and then it's like any argument. Both sides because they act that way. That's why things get out of hand. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think
don't
this
call
is
me
as
guy.
com-
I'm offended.
I don't think I really don't think this situation is that complicated. I think it's just unfortunate that
Yeah,
somebody got in their feels that bad to where they cost themselves that job. Like I mean, because at the end of the day, sometimes, and like I said, the trans person isn't without fault either. Because sometimes as an adult, some people are going to behave poorly, and when you're in a professional capacity, sometimes you just got to ignore them. Sometimes you got to say "f them" in your head and keep it moving. And because that trans person didn't do that, they were without a job. But I
yeah,
still feel like the lady exasperated the situation. She didn't have to paint that trans person in that corner by just doing what they ask. But at the end
And
of the day,
I do want to comment on Tiff. Tiff said, I found out about these mutant genders that have both sex part, and they are born that way, but it's a birth defect. So I think like most people would cite that you have people that's born with vaginas and a penis. So I think what most people argue is that is an anomaly. It's really not that many people in the world that exist there. So the same argument can be made like this. There's people in the world that are born with 11 fingers, but we do not recognize human beings as being born with 11 fingers. We recognize, we don't recognize the anomalies as being what truth is. At the end of the day, we say human beings have 10 fingers, 10 toes, even though there are individuals that are born with 9 fingers or 8 fingers. But we don't say that that's that's the norm. That is what it is. So there are defects, and there are people that's born with two genders, but two body parts anyway. But we don't define civilization by that part. We define it by what's common, and it's over like 99 point some change percent of people that are born with either or. So
all right. So you know my motto for this podcast is love yours, right?
yeah.
In a situation that every single trans person belongs to someone. They
Mm-hmm.
are somebody's yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are deserving of love. They are deserving of respect. They are deserving um, just to be treated how they to be treated fairly. Like that's kind of what where I'm at with it. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm no person that's pro this or pro that. I'm matter of fact I am pro. I'm just pro respect. Like
Mm-hmm.
treat people because if it was if it was somebody that was part of my yours, you know what I'm saying? If somebody part of my yours, I'd be highly upset with the way that person was treated because that's really what it comes down to. It's about treating people with respect. Like this is a simple one right here. Like this one, like I can't really go into it enough. This isn't about being pro trans or whatever it is. It's about respect here.
Well, I don't know. I agree with you. I do think it is about a respect, and I do think it's even though I agree with you, but I do not think it's as simple as you make it out to be. I think it is something that
So show me
I,
how complex it is. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna listen. Tell me how complex it is because
like I said, I think you have two sides that are arguing against the way things should be. And I think at the end of the day, that's complex. Either one thing or the other. You do not either you're not holding what the trans argument is as a serious thing, or you're not holding the people that's against it as a serious thing. One or the other.
tell me the
I
trans
think both of
argument.
them are serious. The trans argument is that I am what I think I am, and you're not seeing me as that way. It's affecting me, right? And
Okay.
they're saying, well, this is what it is. This is truth. Regardless of what you may feel, this is what the truth is. Now you might see your reality as this, but overall, the general reality of human beings as the human experience is this. Even though you might be feeling something differently, this is what this is, and this is what we're going to stick to.
Okay. All right.
It's
So
two differences on
I
truth.
got you. So
What
tell me if I'm
truth
wrong.
is.
So I'm digesting this, and I'm gonna tell you what I
Should
digested.
I
So I'm
validate your? Should I validate your reality?
okay. So I'm asking you. Tell me where I'm off base at because this is what I'm getting here from
I'm
this
not saying you're
podcast.
wrong. I'm saying
I
you
haven't
not
said it
you.
yet.
No, I don't want you to think that. I'm saying I would agree that it's not. It's just as easy
I'm
as
talking
just
about
to
the
say
trans
yes.
argument. So with the
Yeah,
trans argument, I'm asking. All right. So the trans argument is they see themselves as a woman, and the other side sees them as a man that is dressing like a woman, right?
exactly.
So that's the argument. Now,
Mm-hmm.
so my question to you is, as I sit here on this podcast, drinking my water here, how does that affect me? Why should I care?
Because
Either
you.
side,
This what I'm saying.
whichever one is the truth.
At the end of the day, this what I'm
Why should
saying.
I care?
You might not care though. I'm not telling you you too care. But what I'm saying is, are you going to say because another person cares that they shouldn't care?
No,
Because then we in a whole nother argument. Then you believe your reality is, let's say your reality is a person shouldn't care about this debate, and another person's reality is they should. You should.
yeah,
So
no,
who's right there?
that's not the question I asked. The question I
I, I'm,
asked
I'm,
was,
I,
why should I care?
why should you care? I'm not telling you to care. I wouldn't tell you to care. I never said that you should care. All I'm saying is I guess you see it as smaller than other people. I wouldn't say it's something not to care about. I'm saying that I think people should care about this. Maybe you feel like you shouldn't. I'm not telling you you should. I'm saying I feel that way. You comfortable, you might not think it's anything. You might not care about a lot of things. It's just like anything. It's a lot of things in this world that I'm pretty sure you care more passionate about than me. You know me as now, I'm very, very passionate about abortion. I know it's a lot of people that don't care about abortion as much as I do. Can I be mad at those individuals because they don't
Yeah,
care as much as me? No, I don't. But it's
yeah, I'm
not
not.
going to change the way I care.
Yeah, I'm not mad. Like I'm gonna tell you what boils my blood. Those big red boots. I hate those big red boots that people be wearing. They spending three, four, $500 for these big red boots. I hate them. I think they're stupid. They look like cartoon shoes. I hate them. But at the end of the day, I don't care. Like really, it doesn't
I
matter.
think
It
it, I
doesn't
think it,
matter.
it, it, it goes out as in this world. Do you think we have to have agreed upon language? If a person go out there, let's say everybody started calling nighttime daytime. It'd be comfortable, but if everybody is subjected to their own reality, then we don't. It's hard to communicate. It makes communication hard. And I think I mean, regardless whether you think it's a problem or not, it is in contention in the world today. We have boiled this argument down to the most fundamental fact of it, but it spells out and pours into every facet of life, like school systems. How is this thing to be taught in school? How is the thing? It
Mm.
is in every fabric. I mean, to say that the argument is so small, but we see it everywhere. These things are it's on the House floor, the Senate floor. These things are being passed between the Supreme Court. They're not small debates. It's people that's on both sides that are very passionate. And for me to say that it's not that serious, it's just not to really view either argument as important. I think it's important to trans community, and I think it's just important to people that oppose. I think this is an argument that there's it's I don't think it's a common ground though. I don't think it's a either you view me as this or you don't. And that's just the way it is.
Mm.
And it's what we're gonna fall on this. Because there's a group of individuals right now that probably see that person getting fired from Starbucks is wrong. Maybe we say, yeah, that person went too far by putting the camera down or kicking that person out. But there's people out there right now that don't view it as such and think it was wrong. And either Starbucks gonna get boycotted or what. We don't know how that might play out in today's society. Is
Well,
mental health real? I think mental health is very, very real. Schizophrenics, they see certain things. Do you validate their things? Would you do the same thing?
oh
Because
man, that's a good
schizophrenics see
question.
they see alternate realities too. Let's say, should we validate another person's hallucination? What they're seeing to themselves and their reality is truth.
Hmm.
Do you validate it? If they say
Okay.
it's orange bunnies bouncing around on this ground and you say it's not. No, man, it's orange bunnies bouncing around your room right now. Do you say, yeah, you're right? You see that orange bunny?
Gotta remember. Listen, man. Let's put it in context here. You gotta remember. I have worked with with children with mental health issues.
Do you validate that?
So actually, I had a student that thought they had spiders on them in the middle of the night. Woke up in the middle of the night screaming because they saw spiders crawling on them. Now, what good would it do the entire situation if I sat there and said, "Hey, guy, ain't no spiders on you"? Like to miscredit it. Like the fact of the matter is, no, let's try to get you safe here. Like, let's get you to a safe place here. Like let's get us to a safe place. Like at the end of the day, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, man, we should pass policies on people who see spiders on themselves. Like
Mm.
if your thought process is it's a mental health issue, okay, all right, it still doesn't affect you. If your thought process is valid what they think, and at the end of the day, it still doesn't affect you.
See,
Like it's
I don't think it's because the way we operate in society, regardless, we have to communicate. To say it does not affect you, it affected that person at Starbucks. That was a situation that
what
this thing has came to real life situation. To say it does not affect you, you're asking me to change the way I communicate for your benefit, and to say that doesn't affect me, it's the way that you view it, and I don't understand how you. And it goes back to this too, just because I might not see it as important, I still can. Because right now you see that person trans argument right as important. You you don't view that other person argument as just as important. I'm saying both arguments are important, but you're choosing
no,
to say this
no.
person should just move past it.
So you said that you saying the lady was being disrespected by the
No,
trans
I
person
think
saying
both
no.
of them have. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah. So I
saying
mean, what do you mean? Like
both
like
of them view an argument, right? This lady views so strongly that she has to take a stance and not call this person what they she doesn't see this person as, and the other person has another argument to just say why is it just as why is it so hard just to call that person what they want to be called? You're saying that my argument does not matter. You're saying I shouldn't as be as passionate. I could equally say, why don't you just let a person call you what they see you as?
that's not what I'm saying, Corey. I'm saying that it's one thing to get it wrong the first time. It's okay. It happens. If you see a person you don't, I mean, you misjudge them by mistake. That's okay. That's not the issue. The issue is that person. I clearly heard them say, "Don't call me that." Like, and at that point, now you just being hostile for the sake of being hostile.
And
But
that's
you,
why
I'm gonna tell you, and I'm
it's a
gonna tell you this,
problem.
this,
You're
and
putting
this
a
is, and
word
this
on
is,
something.
and you know how I feel about that false security that people have, right? All right, this I feel like this anyway. Like I told you how it boils my blood for a little old lady to reach out the window and flick me off because I cut her off in traffic. Because that false insecurity. Because what if I stop and do something? Like
But
in this situation,
but
in this
how does that
situation,
affect you? How does
well,
that affect you?
but listen,
Just go live your life.
what
Keep
I'm saying.
driving.
Exactly, that's what I do. I end up driving. I mean, I don't pull over and assault little old ladies. I don't do
Yeah,
it. I keep it moving.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, in this situation, if that lady truly thought that the person that she was offending was a man, right, and she felt like, and she didn't have the false insecurity that that man wouldn't get upset, like she was just pushing buttons, Corey. That's all she was doing,
My point again,
just pushing buttons because she
and I,
felt safe to do so.
I just I, from my point of view, I see both sides. I see both arguments. I think both people have a valid point. At the end of the day, you just view that person's point as right, and me, I view both people as having an argument. And I'm not saying just as much as that person could have sat back and called that person by whatever they wanted to be called. That person could have accept what that person was saying, just like that lady could have accepted the gender's person reality. The transgender person could have accepted their reality. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you making a choice, and to say that you just choosing a side, I see both arguments around.
Okay,
I think
maybe
both
maybe
of
I'm
them
choosing the
could
side. I might be choosing the side.
most people both of the sides could have done better. One side could have just said, you know what, I could simply just serve you this coffee and go about my day. But they chose to feel just as much as passionate enough to say, no, I am offended. You need to call me this. And the other person could have just
No,
said,
it was
you know
don't
what?
call me this. There's a difference between you need to call me this and don't call me this. Those are two different things.
Okay, what was the alternative to call you? If you say don't
So,
call you. Let's say right now you say don't call me um boy. All right,
all right. Well, there's
what should I
always
call you?
you can call me the name on my name tag.
Yeah, but you're
That's one
telling me to
choice.
call you this then.
No. What they said was don't call me. She said don't call
Yeah.
me a him or whatever
All
it
right.
is that she was calling.
So you
Like,
you you're basically telling me to call you this.
yeah,
If
you
you
can
tell
use
me
the
don't call
you
you
can use
this,
the name
then
on the name tag. You use the
what
name
if
on
I
the
don't
name
want to
tag.
call you that?
I wear a
What
name.
I'm
I
saying
listen.
is,
I wear a name tag at work all the time, and like I'm gonna take even something that isn't gender I don't like. If if I'm wearing a name tag that says Ryan, and then somebody comes in there and because they want to show off how cool they are, and they be like, "What's up, homeboy?" or "What's up, homie?" or this, that, and the third. It's Ryan. You get what I'm saying?
this is what I'm
And
saying.
that has nothing to do. That has nothing to do about anything. And nobody would say I'm being ridiculous about it. Like nobody would
All
say.
right,
Nobody would argue. They would say, okay, like call the
all
man
right,
by his name tag. Then
all right. Throughout this conversation, I
what's
want to
up,
be
kid?
called again. Like I said, I want to be called master. Refer to me as master.
Okay,
I don't
no.
want to be called Corey
From
anymore. From now on, to those of you all in the chat, those of y'all in the world, my name is Master.
okay, and I just told you there's a difference between don't call me this and call me that. So what
Huh?
I if you tell me you don't want me to call you Corey, I won't
I can
call
put
you
it on the
Corey.
name tag. Can I get a name tag? If I put it on the name tag, will you just call me what's on my name tag? I can get a name tag, man. I get a nice, pretty orange.
Eh, go ahead and get your name tag. Get your
uh,
name tag, sir.
and put it up there, and you gonna
Get your
call
name
me
tag.
back.
I'm gonna call you sir, man. I'm gonna call you sir.
No, not sir. That's not my name. I don't want to be called sir. I don't like sir. I'm offended by sir. Don't call me sir. I don't identify as that. I identify as master. I'm gonna get my name that says master, and that's what I want to be called. You see,
Master of
I,
what?
but I'm saying
Master of
I
what,
could
Corey?
hold on. I could say it doesn't matter about master or something. I'm saying it's just as easy right now for you, Ham, to call me master. You can say that to please me and make me happy. But I'm telling you, you know this argument is flesh exactly what the other art. It's exactly flesh. And I would agree. No, you don't see me as your master. Words have truth behind them. And you do not want to call me that because you know the truth
Oh my
behind the word
goodness.
master. So you don't want to call me master because you feel that's not equivalent to what the word entitles. So you don't want to say that. So saying another person pronoun and you don't view that person as that is problem with truth. And I'm not saying I'm saying yes, I can because you got the name master up there. Yes, I'm agreeing. I could simply call you master and go about my day. And it's not that hard for me to do. I can call you that, but I don't want to. And if I don't want to, why should I have to? And that's all I'm saying. I'm saying both sides. Both
Hey
sides.
man, hey listen, I got no
That
response
sit
for
there and
that.
call that person master.
This is what's this episode whatever. This is episode what 60 what?
Mm,
And I don't have a response for that, Corey. I don't have a response for that.
that was a good one.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't want to call you master.
You
I
don't want to,
don't.
but you could just call me master and go by your day. It wouldn't affect you. It's just words. It is just words, but the words have meaning, and you don't look at me as your master, so you don't want to call me that. And it's the same way as I don't look at you as what you identify as, but you're trying to tell me to identify you as that. I don't see it that way, and me calling is just as much as harder for me to call you something I don't believe you are. And I think, and I see the transgender point. I think it's just as easy as to, it's not that hard to call me master. And yeah, it ain't that hard. But we do have,
But I gotta ask this question. This is something that, and I don't know the answer to this. What percentage would you say of the population is trans?
it's growing rapidly. It's
I
doubling,
just I just
doubling,
asked.
tripling. It's like right now, it's like 22% identifies as
Corey,
yeah,
stop.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead. It's
So
22%. It
you
was
saying there's
one.
more?
It was
You
like
saying there's
4%
more?
on
You're saying there's more trans people in the world
they're
than African
saying
American?
by another 5 to 10 years, over half of the population, if the numbers continue to trend the way it is, half of the population will identify as transgender.
That sounds like some Donald Trump numbers, bro. I
Uh,
don't believe it. I don't believe it. You got to put something on the screen to make me believe that. Because I don't believe there's
can
that
you
large of a
get some time
population.
to percentage of the population that identifies as trans?
Yeah, I don't think he says like 4%. I would even think that might be high. Like I think we're talking about a very small percentage of the American public that we're sitting here and we
New
think is
study
safe.
estimates 1.6, so it's 1.4%.
1.4%. That's what we're
It's
talking about. We're talking about 1%.
1.6 million.
Like
What
this
was it?
this is worth all of this for 1%.
Nah, it's Census Bureau service. Oh yeah, this is the one that I was referring to right here. It's censusbureau.com. So
Half like
new
one.
household poll surveys data reveals differences between LGBT and non-LGBT responses during COVID-19
No,
pandemic.
we're talking about trans
Yeah,
people.
I quoted the wrong statistic. So it's nearly 24.6% of LGBT responders between
I
18 and
said,
19 compare.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
talking
I was
about.
wrong. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, so we're talking about like 1% of the population. That's what we
Mhm.
talking about. These are numbers
Yeah.
we talking about.
Yeah.
Why is that 1%?
It's still, regardless, you're still faced with the same argument. If trying to
like
say,
one.
well, it's only a small amount of people. I would be a small amount of person that want to be called master. I'm a small percentage.
You
I'm
just
my
not gonna.
own
You just
percentage.
gonna be. You get this one. You get
No,
this one
I'm
win.
using
You
the
get this
same.
one
No,
win. You gonna keep riding
I'm
this
not
one
hammering it
win,
down.
man. You gonna
I
ride this
promise you, I'm
one
not
win.
hammering it down. I'm saying your argument that you're bringing up does not change the argument overall. At the end of the day, the number of people that find it valuable, it does not matter. It doesn't change the fact. If I'm the only person in the world that you would have to call master, it does not matter. It doesn't change it. Or maybe it's only 1.6 million of me that identifies this. It's something different than what you see me as. But it's still the same. It's the same thing. It does not matter whether it's 10 million, 100 billion. It does not matter. It's the same thing. You would
Well,
agree, though, right? It doesn't matter about the number.
look, man. How I feel about it is, I'm not giving. I'm not giving much thought to what 1% of the population. But I'd imagine 1% of the world might even dress up in furry costumes from time to time. I ain't checking for
Yakuda
them.
said, "Why do we bend knee to the 1.4%? Why do we bend knee? Why we bend the knee to
Uh,
1.4%?"
man, listen. I don't think nobody better than me. I'm just talking about. I think we do owe every
The
human being
Kristen Mr. Beast
respect.
situation. Yakudu, you talking about the guy that Mr. Beast and his friend becoming transgender and leaving his family and stuff? I don't know if that's exactly because most people don't know about that. Mr. Beast is, whew, that boy got a channel on YouTube and making big money. Cause
And what did Mr. Beast do then?
one of his friends became a transgender, so I think that's who Yakudu talking about. If he is,
So what happened with him now? So why is this important that his friend became trans? Why is that important?
yeah, he left his entire family after this, like kids and everything. Done.
Mr. Beast did or his friend did this?
No, his friend did. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know all the backs of it, but yeah, we have to maybe do an episode on that once. But I do want to look
No,
it up
we
before
won't.
I do.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Mister, but for those of you who don't know who Mr. Beast is a very, very, very big YouTuber. Yeah, I mean, big, astronomical type numbers. You got videos out there like Super Bowl numbers. Crazy, cuz you wouldn't think a person could do numbers like this. He
Okay.
offered to buy his channel for I think like 10 billion or something like that. Something
Mm.
like that. I don't know what the numbers was, but he was like, no. I forgot what it was. It's crazy. But
Yeah. Yeah.
trans right and workplace discrimination.
What-
And we can end this on this with do you think there is a problem with trans rights in the workplace? Let's say the bathroom thing. And oddly enough, like dead serious, right? This is truth. So I'm in the bathroom, right? And it's really one in there I don't know. I'm guessing it's a dude because it's in the bathroom with me, but I don't really know. Like dead serious. Like I'm met with this quarrel. And I keep moving. It ain't really a bad thing, but I'm when I walk in the bathroom. You ever made a mistake and walked in a woman's bathroom? Huh?
Yeah, yeah, I made that mistake.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. Usually you know because you walk in and you see a woman. You're like, oh snap.
Oh, usually
I
I
have
don't see
walked
a
into the.
urinal. I don't see any urinals and I walk out.
Yeah, whatever comes first. Yeah, you walk in, don't see a urinal. I know it. All bathrooms do look very much different. So yeah, you can walk in there and notice that. Hold on, this ain't a man bathroom. But I walked in and saw a woman like, oh snap. So I walked in the male bathroom and saw this, and I was like, hold on, I know I'm in the right bathroom. It just threw me for a loop. So I don't know how do you think bathrooms should be? I think bathrooms should just go to like unisex bathrooms, like just bathrooms, just bathrooms with all stalls, no urinals, all stalls. Simplified. Like when you go into 7-Eleven, they don't have a. Well, yeah, they do. Don't they? They still got women's and more, or just unisex bathroom
No, there's men and women bathrooms. I go to them. I just
at
left one.
7-Eleven.
At 7-Eleven just has one toilet in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's unisex. So let's just make them all unisex bathrooms, like bathrooms. Let's call them bathrooms.
Again, I guess I fall into I don't care.
You
Now,
don't care?
I know what you're gonna go at. What about if your daughter is this, that, and
Yeah.
there? Like, but see,
That's the argument that I will only bring her. You know that's an argument, so you know I'm gonna say it. But it is a contentious argument. I mean, I have to state the argument of people that is on the other side. If you would have said that, I would have made the argument that trans people. I forget, like truthfully, I'm not even forcing my argument. I just choose the opposite argument that you go. Whatever you choose, I would choose the opposite side. If you want to go with that one, I would choose the opposite side.
no, I mean, I guess, I don't know because I guess in my mind, I'm overly cautious with my children anyway, right?
Mhm.
So like, I don't, I guess, man. I don't know, Corey. I don't know the answers. I don't want to
I
even
know
think about
this
it because,
is, this is,
because to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you, there has been a time, and I remember I was at such a dilemma. I was with, I was with my son, right, and I was at a public rest stop, right, and I went into the male bathroom, and there was pee all over the seat, and I was like, man, I'm gonna take him into the female bathroom because he was too little to stand up and go. So I was like, I'm gonna take him into the female bathroom so he could use the bathroom. And I went in there and I was like, I hope nobody thinks that I'm some type of weirdo, like I want to do something to any woman or their
oh, they
children. They,
did. I would. If I saw that from
but
a
but
long,
but, but at the end of the day,
I
like,
probably would say something. I'm like, yo, bro, what you doing?
yeah, I mean, but I did that. Like my intent wasn't bad.
I
Like,
know, I
does it
know,
does
but
it really
it
does
doesn't
it
matter
really
about it.
hurt anyone?
The,
Like, does it really hurt anyone?
yeah,
I don't know.
this is the same argument as this. Like I remember I said, the difficulties is taking my daughter. I have to make sure my daughter uses the bathroom before I leave the house, because when she says she has to pee, I don't want to send her in the bathroom by herself. I have to go in there with her. And then me being in there, because the optics is when I leave out of that bathroom with my daughter, people don't know that's my daughter. So saying it doesn't matter. It matters to people that care about doggone rapists, pedophiles, and people of that nature. At the end of the day, we care about kids. If I see a person coming out of a bathroom with a child, like it is a thought that it could be, you know, it could be there. It might not be that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure most people would be like, I don't care if I'm wrong. The chance of being right. We'll go back to that 50 Cent conversation. I might be wrong, but I'm right because I could have been wrong and I could have been right, but I chose. I made a decision right there. I gotta find out exactly how he said that, but it was you know what I'm talking about, to get rich or die trying, Joe. Because at the end of the day, you could be a pedophile. So I'm right by saying something. And I could be wrong. I could offend you, man. This is my daughter. I'm like, whoa, I don't know that, bro. I don't know that. But it could not be your daughter. You could be somebody that's trying to take advantage of a child. You might not be that, but I'm right just by saying something, regardless. I'm sorry that it offends you. I'm sorry that would offend you, but at the stake of not having a child being molested in the bathroom, you would say something.
This seems like a lot, man. Like it seems like a lot just for a person that wants to use the bathroom.
No, I don't.
It just
I
seems like
think
a
at the
lot,
end,
man. Like, I guess
I
because I'm not
think
so passionate about the. I'm not so passionate
yeah,
about
but
it.
I'm not gonna. You wouldn't take away somebody that is passionate. I would have rather much argued the other side. I would have thought you would have said. I did think going in I was gonna argue the other side because I thought you were gonna pick the bathroom side of the kids and stuff like that. So I was prepared to.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess in my mind, when it comes out to you, said so. To answer the question, workplace discrimination, man. I'm gonna tell you, like,
Oh,
it,
Tiff, right here with one of those experiences, yo.
what she say? Oh, what she was okay. Back to your question when you said about the workplace. I think there's so few of the population that I have not worked with one. And if I did, I'm gonna tell you what I'm not checking for. I don't care what bathroom they use. To be honest with you,
This number is
like
increasing. The
yeah.
number
So
is
when you're talking
increasing.
about discrimination, like I don't. You know what? To be honest with you, they may be amongst me and I don't know. It's possible, right? Is it not possible? I don't know. I don't care. I don't be checking. I don't be
Yaki
asking.
dude,
I don't be
Yaki
asking.
dude came ready with that joke. I was about to say the same thing against Tiff comment. Yeah, I don't think it matters. At the end of the day, she said if he was gay would have mattered. At the end of the day, it's the man in the bathroom. Because what I'm saying is, it ain't like these are just supposed. It has been people that have been molested. It has been because at the end of the day, if these men, let's say pedophiles, a pedophile is not above him to dress up like a trans person, go into the bathroom, and take advantage. That is the argument that people are making. And it has happened. We ain't
I'm
talking
not
about
gonna.
something
I'm not about to hitch.
that's just supposed.
I'm not about to hitch that wagon to the transgender.
It's
Group.
not hitching the wagon.
I'm not gonna hitch that to him, man. I'm not gonna. Like
How
I'm
am
not
I
gonna.
hitching that to him? How am I hitching that to him?
I ain't saying.
But
I'm just saying
I'm
I'm
saying
not gonna do it.
these
Like
are things that have happened, Ham. These have happened. We can do videos on that. But it has been people, kids that have been molested in the world. To say that it's not, it's going to be an increase in that. I'm
can
not
I say
saying that. I don't think
can I say
trans people
something?
care
Can I say
about
something?
it. Huh?
I would bet. I'm willing to bet this baseball that more people who identify as the gender they were born with have molested more children than transgender people. I would argue this
I didn't say the
baseball.
person was
So I'm
trans.
saying like
That's not
we're talking about
no.
we're talking about
Listen
one
here.
percent of one
First of
percent of
all,
one
stop.
percent of
Stop
one
right now.
percent.
The argument you're making right now, that's not the argument I'm making. Either you don't understand the argument I made, or you
Help
trying
me
to
to
switch.
understand. I'm a simple guy, man.
No, what
I'm a
I'm
simple
saying is
dinosaur.
straight pedophiles are dressing is sheeps, is wolves dressing up in sheep clothing. I'm not saying that they are trans going in the bathroom molesting kids. I'm saying straight pedophiles are dressing up as trans to get into women bathrooms to do pedophilia. At the end of the
Listen,
day, I'm saying they misrepresent. I'm not saying trans people are doing anything at all. Either you don't understand the argument I make. I'm saying they're dressing up like women, saying that they're trans, but they're not actually trans. They're getting into the bathroom and are molesting people. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying trans people are molesting people. That's making a whole argument that I'm not making.
okay, so I'm gonna say this. I think I heard this number a while back. It was like so far there has been 220 something mass shootings this year. It's been like 222 mass shootings, and I don't hear the argument of, "Hey man, we need to take these guns away." But we talking about the handful of people that are dressing up in dresses, hunting in bathrooms, and those are the people we need to be concerned and worried about. Like how often does this happen, Corey?
Let's just move on. Let's just move on.
Like I'm just saying, like the
Nah,
things that we choose to be concerned with. The
Yes,
arguments.
yeah, it has happened several times, Tiff. I bring the numbers up next time we come on. The
Has it been
podcast, I'll bring
222 times
I
this
don't
year?
know, man. I don't know. I'm bringing the contention up, and then to devalue it by the numbers is crazy. I would never say, and I have never made this argument. You have never heard me say this. And when you say it's 200 mass shootings, I have ever said, well, it's only 200. Like those 200 do not matter. Right now, you're saying it's such a small amount. So those kids that's getting molested might as well just deal with it. That's the argument.
He said, "Brother,
That's
deal
just
with
it. That's the argument.
I'm just saying that when you and I have had conversations about
I have never
gun
said
control,
I've
never seen you this. I never seen this passionate about the guns as we are the handful of weirdos wearing dresses and molesting children, and they get.
Well, I think. Hey, listen here again. Maybe you have not heard the argument because obviously you have set up here and made arguments that I have not made. No, again, you have never heard, and we can go back, and I place this upon anybody. If I ever have said anything on any podcast that you don't feel like I have represented properly, go back, clip it, send it to me, because I have never, ever in the history of saying anything about. We had this gun debate several times. I have never said made light of the gun debate because of how small the amount is.
Okay.
Never ever. You have never heard me say, "Hemp, why does it matter? It has only been 200 mass shootings."
No,
I have never made that argument.
That's not.
I have heard your argument and said it is a problem. I have said yes, mass shootings are a problem, but I said compared to taking away person guns. So I would make the same thing. I would not say, okay, it's not a problem with these kids getting molested. I would say, yes, it is a problem. But is it so much of a problem to violate trans rights to go into the bathrooms they want to go? Yes. I would make the same argument. Is this of enough amount of these kids being molested that you willing to stop transgender for having their rights to enter the bathroom? But that's not what you say. You're saying there's only a small amount, so we might as well not worry about it. It's not that important. No, that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Man. Oh man. I think that he's right. I think Florida man has done much more damage. Florida man has done much more damage than any weirdo in a dress.
And I think this goes back to the same argument of the Black Lives Matter. It's
like, oh my God! Don't do this, Corey. Please do not do this, bro.
I'm gonna make the same argument you say. It's like when I say this is important, you coming back and saying all lives matter. I'm using your arguments against yourself. There's no need to get mad at me. That is your argument. Me saying that this is a problem. Now you want to say the overall problem is all lives matter. I guess all lives matter. That's not the same argument. That's not the same argument.
Nonetheless, tomorrow I am
because I can pull the clip up.
Tomorrow I'm going to Starbucks. Starbucks, don't be upset with us. Go ahead and sponsor us. I'm drinking Starbucks tomorrow. I think y'all did the right thing.
No, y'all money. Y'all are too pricey for coffee. Coffee is not
it's ridiculous. Try to get a sponsorship here, man.
Nah, I'm gonna let somebody sponsor that's doing the people right. Nah, Starbucks, we take y'all money, man.
He said we still haven't solved that problem. I don't know, man. Corey, let's close this thing out, man. We need to talk. Yeah. Hey, Kevin, what you said about thoughts and prayers? Yeah, awesome. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers to that lady.
Before long, we gonna have a lot of these sad balls, man. People ain't gonna
we got a lot of sayings out here, man. We got purple dinosaurs, thoughts and prayers, everything. Yeah, we got to put some of them hashtags on the shirts and whatnot.
Yeah.
But so let's close this thing out, man. And we ain't talk about the NFL schedule coming out, man. We ain't
Yes,
talk.
you know we play each other week too, man. Like for real. I know we friends. I would legitimately, I would say, man, hell, let's go to that game. I'm gonna treat you. We're gonna go up there, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go down there. But this is
No,
versatile fan. I think Philly fans are the worst fan, and that's one statement. It is true, man. I like you as a fan, but I do not like Philadelphia fan base.
hey, listen,
Any
man.
of them. It's not even just Philadelphia Eagles fan. It's any. I'm a Penguins fan, and I
Hey,
would say that I don't like any Philly.
hey, Corey. I say we go to the. I say we go to the game, man. And look, if one
Nah,
thing that
they
every
they they take
listen,
it too serious, bro.
hey,
There's
Corey,
jail cells
listen,
in y'all stadium
and
for a reason.
But Corey, everybody that knows, but they know I punch really hard. You're in good hands, man. So we
Yeah,
can go there. We're gonna
and
be
we
all right.
both might be on TV.
Hey, I'm all
That
right with it.
I'm
I
getting
got.
slid out that stuff.
We got. Hey, look. Hey, I know somebody in the chat gonna help us out with bail money, man. We're going to the game, man.
But
We
the
gonna let's buy the
230,
tickets. Let's buy the tickets now. It's cheaper when you buy them early, man. Let's buy the tickets now.
man, I told myself, you know, y'all threw 4 cans of beer when we played at each other in the NFC Championship at at patrons, man. Y'all threw 4 cans of beer, not even the top crack. Y'all
Hey,
hit people with
can
a can of beer out the cooler.
can I tell you something, man? The type of stuff that you talking about, it happens in the cheap seats. It happens in the cheap seats. So you spend a little money.
I got to spend money to be safe.
Yeah, you
Oh,
gotta
boy,
spend a
I'm
little.
trying to. You write these arguments yourself. And
Yeah,
all right, so might as well spend money to get out of these dangerous neighborhoods,
yeah,
these cheap neighborhoods.
you
We got
gotta
to get to these high price ones.
you gotta spend a little money, man.
Well, maybe the government need to get that right. Maybe the Philadelphia organization need to make these affordable seats more safe.
No, man, no, man. That's it. And listen, that's the excitement of going to the game, man. The cheap
That
seats, man.
I might get bullied and harassed by
Yeah,
y'all crazy fans.
yeah.
Philadelphia go hard. Them people
Or,
crazy.
or, or for one game, if you want to, you can identify as an Eagles fan
Nah,
and won't nobody say nothing to you.
nah. I did think about that for the NFC Championship game. I was like, man, because I knew them people crazy. I know how crazy. I always knew because I see Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and I know those fans of the of Pennsylvania, anywhere in there,
Uh,
anywhere in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia Eagle, Pittsburgh, what's the name?
the
Steelers,
Pirates,
all of them, they crazy, all of them crazy.
hey, look, man. Hey, look. Identify as
Having it
Richard.
just, hey, what fan base did they have? Malice in the Palace was at?
You talking about Indiana? No, oh
But
no, you
that was
talking about Indiana?
Indiana, but that was in Philly. They was in Philly. Malice in the Palace was in Philly. It was Indiana, but they had to go up there and punch fans in the face because y'all fan base is crazy, man. For y'all not to understand this, man, y'all treat this thing too serious. I sat next to a Dallas Cowboy fan while we were getting blowed out, and the guy was a treat to be beside, man. I enjoyed him, and I don't like Dallas fans, but they do not treat this thing as they not crazy, and everybody would say that. It's not a person in the world. Cora, go to the bathroom before the game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if I get caught in the stalls, them boys liable to beat me like a bat. Like they really treat this joint like gang warfare, like Bloods and Crips. Yo, you go to that game and you don't have a felon, you are an enemy of theirs. It ain't have nothing to do with the fact that you're just another human being. These people crazy, man. I
and
mean, I want to go, but I ain't going, man. Listen, I really feel that passionate about how crazy y'all as a fan base.
hey, I
And
haven't had a chance to look at the schedule, man.
we play
I've been.
weekly. It's Thursday night football though, so
Oh yeah,
question
yeah,
if you want to go down on Thursday.
yeah. Let's do it. I say we do it. I say we do
How
it.
far is Pennsylvania? 7 hours. It's not as far as New Jersey. New Jersey is 11. How far is Pennsylvania?
I
We
think it's
save
like,
money driving.
yeah. I think we can get. Yeah, we're gonna drive it, man. It'll be all right. I was hoping we was gonna play Jacksonville, man, because I wanted to go to a Jacksonville game, man. Like I've been wanting to go to a Jacksonville game for so long.
Where you want to go to Florida?
And I do. I want to go to Florida.
Florida's a good place though, for real, for real. You know, Ron DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis, man. We go see that guy.
Uh,
We can go see that guy. Yeah, you know what? I say we do it. But hey, let's close this thing out, man.
all right, y'all. Sorry for having y'all on that tangent about the schedule. He brought it up, but hey, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. I thank y'all for coming in. As hard as y'all always do. Y'all always are faithful, and it's not quite so much a few now. We are doing good numbers. The more the episodes we do, we are still learning. Even though we're on like episode I don't know 70 something. We need to do it. I can look it up. I know how many videos we did. It's like 70 something.
I know because we got to do because when we get to 100, man, it got to be a
But
celebration.
yeah, I definitely if it was close, I would start counting it down. It's not there yet. I've been watching it enough to know that it's not at 100 yet. But when we get there, we'll start letting people know. But yes, again, do not forget to place videos y'all want to talk about, things y'all want to talk about.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and task you, man, because at this point, people had to be voluntold. So I'm gonna go ahead and voluntold Kevin. Kevin, the next episode is on you. The next episode is on you. So shoot me a text, tell me what you want us to talk about, man. Um, just like always, man. Really, I hope you took something from the conversation. Um, man, who are we? We just a bunch of guys talking about things that we think we know. Ain't no telling. I don't know who's right. It is what it is. But most importantly, love yours. We out.